courses are left, this course and the next course. Then you will complete the coursework. So you have already learned many theories and frameworks, I guess. But no, the graduate of the MBA program are expected to know many theories and frameworks. And sometimes when I explain some theories, maybe you have heard that from other courses already, but let's just consider it's like the review of what you have already learned. If you cannot remember what it was, this is the second chance. And of course, many theories and frameworks I will introduce. I think you will hear for the first time. And of course, there are many theories and frameworks, even in the strategic management. I cannot cover all the frameworks within this course in 2 weeks. So I selected some. How I selected the framework and theories, because as a graduate, as a MBA holders in the future in your business, you have many opportunities to discuss about business using these theories and frameworks. Sometimes you will talk about the specific names of the scholars and frameworks. And I selected the frameworks that you are going to use quite often. And so I hope you try to learn all these theories and try to grasp what it says. But at the same time, it is also necessary to understand the whole picture, big picture, included in the strategic management. Of course, analysis using each framework is important. Most probably you are going to use them in your business or in your work if it's related to the business management. But at the same time, the management itself, it's a process of the comprehensive works. So that is why you need to understand the big picture. On the 8th day, in my material, I included the whole picture, including all the frameworks and theories I will discuss. So you will see what the big picture means. And again, the reason is the synthesis, the comprehensiveness is needed in the strategic management. And so again, through this course, various concepts are introduced for understanding each concept, as well as the position in the whole process. And when I explain each theories and framework, I will also try to explain with actual cases, actual examples. And many examples, mainly from Japanese enterprises. Sometimes I will use the case of different countries like US or other Asian countries. Unfortunately, I will not use any law cases because I don't know well about the law cases. But whenever you hear these theories and concepts and framework, please try to apply them in your company or any companies in Laos. That is the way that you can learn more effectively. Okay, that was the objective. And this is the contents of each day. We have 2 weeks, 10 days, and the final day is the exam day. So we have 9 days for the lectures. And the 9th day, I will explain about the Japanese corporate system. Maybe you hear quite often about Japanese style management because you learn at the MBA courses at LJI, Laos, Japan, Human Resource Development Institute. But through this MBA course, maybe you have not learned any Japanese corporate system yet. And I'm not sure if it is included in the next course. So that is why I try to include one special session on Japanese corporate system. I try to explain the main part of the Japanese style management, then you will understand what it is. Okay? But other 8 days, I will explain each concept included in the strategic management: customers, competition, resource, and psychological aspects. And I will spend 2 days for competition and resource, because these two are very important and main part of the strategic management. So this is the structures. And for the final exam, I discussed with LJI, Seng An-san, my partner of this course. You see her, right? And most probably for the final exam, I will ask you all to come to LJI and take the exam in the classroom of LJI. You will write down on the paper, right? And also maybe some of you, of course, this course will be conducted in English language, but for some of you, maybe you are not so familiar with writing English so often. So if you are not so good at in English, but still if you have to answer the exams, the questions in the exam in English, maybe you have disadvantages. And I don't want anybody to have a disadvantage because of the language. So for the final exam, you can even write the answer in Lao language, in your language, if you prefer. If you don't mind writing in English, that's fine. If you prefer writing the answer in your language, you're free to do that, okay? So that is the final exam. And the final grade, because this course, we have the classes every day for 2 weeks on the weekday. And usually at my universities, we have one class in each week, and it lasts for 8 weeks. So I will give the student assignment, weekly assignment. But for you, because we have to take the course every day, the class every day, if I give you the assignment and ask you to submit on the next day, maybe it's difficult because during the daytime, I understand you work. So I will not give you any daily assignments. Instead, you will have a final exam, and the final grade will be given based on the final exam and also the class participation. Class participation means participate in the class like this and also participate in the discussions. We have a group discussion, and also besides a group discussion, whenever you have a question or you have some opinion that you want to express, you are free to express any questions or opinions, even though I am talking. Okay, so please feel free to raise any questions or opinions during the class. Okay, and each time you express such kind of questions or opinions, you will get we will check and we will give the final grades based on that. Okay. And here, I put some readings. Even in the syllabus, I put some readings. Of course, if you can read it, that's good, but it's not obligatory. Again, because you work during the daytime, I'm not sure if you have enough time to read all these articles. But as an MBA holder after the graduation, in the future in your business, again, it is better that you read these because these are the very famous scholars. And if you know these readings, the content of these readings, that's better as an MBA. So I encourage you to read these articles, but it's not obligatory during these 2 weeks. Okay. And all these articles are available on the internet. If you search them with Google Scholar, you can get it. And I selected the article that you can obtain for free. Some articles you have to pay, but these articles all you can obtain for free, even from your house. So that is why I chose these. I chose this because of two reasons, because these authors are very famous scholars, and also they are available for free on the internet. Okay, so these are the readings. Do you have any questions so far? No? Okay.
No have yet.
Okay, no questions. So let me start explaining my material. First, to talk about what the strategic management is, I will introduce one company.
Recording in progress.
And I will explain one company, Japanese company. It's called Fujifilm. Do you know this company?
Yes.
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 Oh, okay,
Fuji.
you know. Yeah, Fuji.
Fujifilm.
Maybe you can buy some of their products even in Laos, I guess. Or if you are not too young, maybe when you are young, you use this kind of camera film. Right? Fujifilm, as we can see from the name of the companies, they started the business by producing this kind of camera film. But maybe nobody uses this kind of film in this class anymore, right? Because whenever you take a photo, maybe you use your smartphone, mobile phone, right? You not even use the camera. And so that is why, Fujifilm, they still produce this kind of film, but not much, because the demand of the film is not big. Up to the year 2000, they were the leader of this kind of camera film, photo film in Japan. And they were one of the leaders even in the world, global market. The number one was Kodak. They were the number two. So you can imagine they made big profit from the camera film. As you can see here in this graph, after the year 2000, the consumption of this kind of film dropped very drastically. And this company, Fujifilm, they knew it will happen because they knew the development of the technologies, digital image technologies. So they expect the consumption of camera film will drop like this in the future. So again, they had to do something before they lose all the businesses. That's the starting point. And the year 2000, new president came, and this new president started making the strategy for the future. After 20 years, after 90 years, 20 years, this is the structure of their business. Image solutions, only 16%. Document solution, mainly the copy machine. It's about 40%. And about 40% of the total business from the healthcare and material solutions. This healthcare business, they didn't have at all at the year 2000. So they started from this year searching for the potential new business. And after 20 years, they found it and they developed the new business. And this is a reality. And what they did in these 20 years, that is the strategic management. They made a plan, they made a strategy, and based on this strategy, they made action. And because of their actions, they could achieve this kind of new structure of the businesses, transformation of the businesses. So again, in a nutshell, the transformation of the business and making a plan for the transformation that is a strategic management. That's one thing. Oh, by the way, this is a cosmetic, and cosmetic is one of the important products now for Fujifilm. And you wonder why cosmetics? Because when they are still the market leader of the camera film, they spend much capital for the R&D of the camera film. In the process of the R&D of the camera film, they also made research on the chemical materials. And those chemical materials, they found out can be used for producing the cosmetics. And that is good for the skin. That is why they decided to enter this area. But it looks something totally different, but there is something in common. They use the common technologies. That is why they decided to enter, and also the supplement. And even for your business, for your companies, when you want to find out what can be the potential business in the future, new business, usually it's better not to bring something totally new, but something related to some part of your company. Maybe the fruit from your research and development activities can be used for something else. And in that case, that new business can be successful. Again, this is the case for the strategic management, Fujifilm. And now let me explain about the strategy itself. Strategy, that is designing the flow of the whole operation at the different level. I said different level. First, at the corporate level. Corporate level means the whole company. When you talk about the strategy, usually there are two kinds of strategies. One, corporate strategy. Two, business strategy. Corporate strategy is a strategy of the whole company. I understand many of your organization is big. Large enterprise is a large organization. Or I understand many of you are from the government. The government ministry is big. You have many businesses. You have many things that you have to do in the other organization. Sometimes different businesses. Setting the strategy of the whole businesses, that is a corporate strategy. Then business strategy, in this case, business means each business, each product or each domains. Business strategy is a strategy for each business, separated business. In the case of Fujifilm, now they produce cosmetic, they produce supplement. Cosmetics is the business, one business for Fujifilm. Supplement is one business for Fujifilm. Again, the whole strategy of the whole companies, including other businesses like imaging solution, document solution, that is a corporate strategy for Fujifilm. Strategy for the cosmetics only, that is a business strategy for Fujifilm. So again, corporate level and business level. And after you set the corporate strategy, then business strategy, you have to think about the business system for each business, for each product. That is systems. And also once you establish the system, you have a daily operation. So 4 levels from the corporate level to the daily operation. The strategy itself include all. Sometimes the last part of daily operation, it's a short-term operation. So sometimes it's called tactics, but still it's important. And the strategic thinking itself is that is not only for the private enterprises. Many of you are from the government. Government can also have the strategy. you have a policy, and you have something that you want to achieve as a ministry. Then how to achieve, that is a strategy. So even the ministry can set the strategy. And not only private enterprises and governments, NPOs, non-profit organizations or non-government organizations, and even individuals, you can set the strategies. You want to be something as an individual. You have some images, what kind of person you want to be, and how to change, how to transform yourself to be that kind of person. That is an individual strategy. And you can also use the concept of the strategy. And here I show the overall concept of the strategy management. Maybe, most of you have heard vision, mission, value. That is the first thing that you think of. And there are many books talk about vision and mission. Sometimes each book explain in different way. Sometimes mission comes on top of the vision. Sometimes vision comes on top of the mission. In my case, I will explain vision comes first, then mission. And because I consider vision is a kind of society to be achieved, not only by your organization, but by many organizations. That is a society that you want to achieve. But in that society that you want to achieve, your organization has some role. So the role in that kind of society is a mission of your organization. And after you set vision and mission, you set the value. What is the value? It's a kind of something you will use when you make decisions. Because even though you set one mission, maybe sometimes other organizations have a similar mission. But your organization and another organization, it's possible that they have different value. Some organizations consider protecting environment is really important, critical. In that case, protecting environment is a value for that organization. Sometimes for some organization, something different. So the value, even though the mission is similar, each organization make different actions because they have a different value as a standard for the decision making. So that is a vision, mission, and value. And these days, when we talked about the strategic management, many organizations talk about purpose. And what is purpose? It is related to the mission. Again, mission is a role of your organization in the society. And in this mission, there are two kinds of missions. One, purpose type mission. Two, identity type mission. Purpose type mission is what we want society to consider. No, you want other people to understand what is important. So the mission of your organization is to let others to understand the importance of such kind of things. That is a purpose type of mission. And identity type of mission is how do we want to be in a society? There is an ideal society, that society to be achieved, and there's some kind of role, something that you want to take some responsibility in that society. That is the identity type of mission. So the mission, there are two kinds of mission, purpose type of mission, identity type of mission. And these days, many organizations in Japan, in US, in the world, they talked about the importance of purpose because that is something that you let other people to understand why your organization exists in this world. That is the purpose. Do you have any questions so far? Again, if you have a question, you can raise the question anytime, even though I'm talking. It's not rude to intervene. Okay. Okay. So,
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Bankam.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't understand about the soil vision and mission rule. Some company mistake mission. A company can complete the work for the successful some product profit. I understand for the.
You mean some
soil?
You mean that some companies set the mission to be successful with one product? Is that what you said?
Yeah. For the share in the market now.
Market share.
Don't have the mission.
You mean some companies set the mission to be, for example, to have a top market share. Is that what you mean?
Yes. I don't know. The company go to the targets now. Go to the successful the company, but don't have the mission for the performance company. I don't know for the company.
I see.
Go to the targets. Go to the successful in the function.
Okay. Probably what you mean with mission is the objective that I want to show. Mission is not the numerical target. Mission cannot be to be a #1 market share company. That is not the mission. Because to be a #1 in the with this products doesn't mean anything what kind of role your company has in the society. Again, the mission is a role in the society, but the numerical target is objective. Here, objective achievement level such as profit, market share, and so on. That is the objective. Of course, many companies set the objective. We want to achieve the total sales of $1 million, $10 million, something like this, to achieve #1 market share with this product. That is the objective. And of course, it's good to set such kind of objective. Then the people understand if they achieve certain level of the business by achieving such kind of objective. But again, objective itself doesn't. When we talk about mission or value, objective itself, such kind of numerical target doesn't say anything. Let's say you want to achieve $1 million sales, but how? The important thing is how. And there are various ways to achieve $1 million sales. And to set how you achieve to that objective, $1 million sales, you need to set this mission or value, and also this image of the basic concept that I'm going to explain. Is it clear, Mr. Bankam?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that is the objective. Thank you for your questions. That was good that you asked a question about this objective. And also, I want to emphasize one more, image of basic concept. What is image of the basic concept? Again, you have a role, you have a mission, role in the society, and you also have a value. And how you show other people your mission and value, that is the image of the basic concept. I will show you example. Let me explain this example before I explain other part. This is an example of the zoo in Japan. Do you know this is the map? And Tokyo is here in the main island. Now, I want to talk about the zoo in this northern island. It's called Hokkaido. In Hokkaido, we have much snow. So during the winter, nobody wants to come to the zoo because it's much snow. And this zoo in the middle of Hokkaido, the number of the people coming to this zoo have been stagnated and have been decreasing up to the middle of 1990s. But then you can see there is a rapid growth of the number of visitors. Of course, it drops later, but the thing is why it was possible to have this rapid growth. And to make it happen, they had some kind of images that they wanted to achieve while they were stagnated. The new director came to the zoo here in 1996, and then they started the transformation from 1997. And up to the 2004, they had transformed. How they transformed? First, they draw the images that they want to achieve. They want to show to the visitors. And based on these images, they changed, they invested, and they changed the structure of the zoo. And they changed the construction of the zoo. And this is the images. Later, they have made this kind of facilities, and this is the image that they made, and later they made this kind of facilities. And what is the differences? Before they draw these images, they ask the visitors the impression of the zoo. And many visitors says, well, seeing the animals at this zoo is not so fun. Why? Because the animals seldom move. They expect to see the animals to make actions, to make a move. So they draw the pictures that people can see the animals make actions. And based on that pictures, images, they made this kind of facilities. So again, this is the clearly the images they made. That is the same for the Fujifilm. When they expect the consumption of the camera film will drop in the near future, they made images. Okay, maybe the imaging solution they still have after 20 years, but not big portion. Nearly half of the total sales from the new business. What kind of new business? They didn't know at the year of 2000, but they had the image. They will enter the new business using the resources they already have. That was the images. And later they achieved that images. Again, that was the same for this zoo in Asahikawa City in Sapporo. But again, images of the basic concept is something that your company, your organization want to achieve, want the people to understand what your organization provides to the people. That is the image of the basic concept. And this images of the basic concept is based on mission and value and purpose, but not the objective, not the numerical objective, but the mission, value, and purpose. You understand what the images of basic concept is? And if you have these images of your future business, you know the current situation of your companies, organizations. And there is always a gap between images and the current situations. And to transform from the current situations to images that you make is the strategy. And in the strategy, that is why you have scenario of the change, how you are going to change the structure of the business. Do you understand what I mean? There is something that you want to achieve. There is something that you are now. And there is always a gap between the image you want to achieve and the current situation. So you have to climb up the ladder. You have to climb up the stairs to achieve these images. And how to climb up the stairs is the strategy. Okay? And sometimes when you talk with business consultants use the word like to be and as is. The current situation is as is. The images that you want to achieve is to be. So these are the wording that business consultant, management consultant often use. Okay? And how to climb up the stairs, scenario of change. Basically, there are three things that you need to include. One, what to sell to whom? Simple. Your companies provide something, produce something, and sell. What you want to sell? To whom? What kind of customers? That is the first thing. The second, how to produce or how to deliver those products or services. And how to produce or deliver, it is called business system. And business system, there are two kinds of business system. One, in-house system that you will do yourself. And also the second is outsourced system. You will ask another company to do. You need to make a decisions if you do it by yourself or if you ask others to do it for your business. That is a business system. And if you decide to do by yourself, by your companies, with your business system, you need some resources to do it. So the third things you need to consider for the scenario change is with what resources you want to operate the business system. And in these resources, there are two kinds, tangible assets and intangible assets. Now, we will talk about the resources in the 5th or 6th days, and you will know more about these tangible and intangible assets. So again, this is the whole picture of the strategy management. This is something you have to consider when you make a strategy. Okay, so that is the first. And I already explained this images of basic concept. And let me explain a little bit more about these images of basic concept with the coffee shop cases. Do you know Starbucks?
Yes.
In Laos, do you already have Starbucks?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I see. But maybe many of you have traveled to, for example, Thailand, Bangkok.
Yeah.
Then in that case, you see Starbucks.
Yeah.
If you when you want to go to the coffee shop, when you choose Starbucks, for example, when you are in Bangkok, what is the reason that you choose going to Starbucks instead of other coffee shops? You go there because you just find it.
Quality, maybe quality.
Quality.
And, yeah, many customer there.
I see. Miss Cantoli, quality is good. So the quality of the coffee is maybe good.
coffee and other Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi or something.
You mean the pastry?
Yeah.
Something like donuts or the cake?
Yeah.
Okay, the
Many,
quality
many.
is good, yes. Others, is there any other people who has different reasons to go to the Starbucks? Oh. For example, in Japan, there are different kind of coffee shops, coffee shop chains. It's called Doto. And there's a big difference between Starbucks and Doto. Starbucks, as Miss Cantley said, the coffee itself, quality is high and very tasty. In Doto, quality is not so good, but cheaper. And even the atmosphere is different. Usually, if you want to spend maybe 2 hours working with your computer in the coffee shops, you will choose Starbucks, not Doto. But if you want to just spend 20 or 30 minutes waiting for the meeting time or something, people choose Doto. And because of the difference of the atmosphere, because of the difference of the price, and also if you're in a group and if you want to, talking with your friends, maybe usually they go to Doto. Because in Japan, in the Starbucks, people prefer working with only by themselves or only the limited number of the people, but not talk too much. They want to relax and enjoy. But at the Doto coffee shop, the atmosphere, it's like you can talk even with a loud voice. In Starbucks, the atmosphere is not allow you to talk in the loud voice because people want to be relaxed. People do not want to hear other people talking in the loud voice. But at the Doto coffee shop, people do not mind. Customers do not mind that other people chat in the loud voice because of the difference of the atmosphere. So again, Starbucks has clear images that they want to provide to the customers. They said Starbucks is the third place for the customers. Home, office, and the third place. That is the Starbucks concept. The Doto, they just want to provide the places for the people who spend sometimes not too long over the coffee. They don't mind the coffee is not so tasty, but cheaper. Or sometimes because they want to eat something. So again, they have two different images. And because of the difference of the images, they have the different business, different atmosphere, different shape of the business. And besides the atmosphere, one big difference, Starbucks, they operate directly all the coffee shops. Doto, they operate only 1/5 by themselves, but other part, 4/5 franchise cafe. Why the Starbucks want to operate all the coffee shop directly? Because they want to keep the common images, common atmosphere at the high level, at a certain level of the quality. That is why they stick to this operating directly of the coffee shops. Also, Starbucks want the people to enjoy the coffee, relaxing and enjoy the coffee. And that is why they provide the pastry, something to eat, but too many. Doto, they provide various kind of food, sandwiches and so on. And if we look at the sales, the Starbucks, 75% of the coffee, 75 of the sales is from the coffee menu. pastry only 17%, rest from the retail sales. I mean, selling the coffee beans and so on, the cups at the shops. And Dotto, they have a different business model. Only 45% from the cafe is from the coffee. More than half from the snack, different from the Starbucks. And also they have a wholesale of the coffee bean to the coffee shops. And also they have a franchise cafes. They will also have sales from the loyalty. Again, because of the different images of the basic concept, they have a different business model. They establish something different atmosphere, and even the business structure is different. So again, the same coffee shop, but with the different images, different businesses. Your business, your companies have certain business. Maybe you consider there's many competitors, but if you look at each company's businesses closely, sometimes one competitor has a similar business as yours, but different company has different businesses from yours, even though they provide the same kind of products, because what you want to provide to the customer is different from other companies. And that is why setting the clear images of this kind of basic concept is important. Is it clear? Do you have any questions about this? Oh, we have some.
Sorry,
yes, Mr. Intapada, Sitimolada.
Yes, may I ask one question?
Yes, please.
Due to the different image basic concept and
Yes.
the operate of the cafe is different.
Yes.
Starbucks is operate by themselves,
Yes.
but Dutto franchise maybe for maybe 70% for franchise
Yes.
and
Yeah.
operate by themselves 30%.
Yes.
I compare for the profit. May I ask who is has more profit? Compared to one page, not to whole.
I see. I see.
Only one
Okay.
page. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. The profit itself, probably Dotto is slightly bigger. Why? Because they don't operate many shops. If you have to operate the shop directly, you have to invest in having the coffee shop by themselves, by yourself. Now, if you want to open the new coffee shop, you have to buy the tables, chairs, you have to decorate the shops, and you have to pay for all the costs in case you directly operate. In case you have a franchisees, those franchisees basically paid for the table, for the chair, for the decoration. You don't pay yourself, but you get the royalty. You don't pay, you don't invest in the new coffee shop much, but you receive the loyalty because you provide the know-how, how to operate the coffee shop. And so that is why the initial investment having the coffee shop, Dotto is smaller. And that is why Dotto has more coffee shops than Starbucks. Because in the case of Starbucks, opening the new coffee shop, you have to invest by yourself. So the profit rate is higher with Dotto, but still there are many people who prefer going to the Starbucks because of the difference of the atmosphere, because of something. that they can get from the Starbucks. So again, even though the profit rate is not so high, if you have the loyal customers, you can get the profit, higher profit. If we compare the Starbucks and Doto, usually the people who are going to Starbucks, usually people who are going to Doto, which are more loyal to each shop, definitely Starbucks, because they have clear images that they want to get from the Starbucks. For the Doto, this is not something that people really want to get that kind of atmosphere, but they just want to spend some time over the cup of coffee. That is all. So again, having more loyal customers, Starbucks, even though their profit rate is lower. Did I answer your question, Mr. Interpada?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you
very much.
Any other questions? No? Okay. If no questions, let me explain a little bit more. And then later we have a group discussion related to this images of basic concept. Now, I want to explain about the scenario of change. Then I said scenario change is how to climb up the stairs because there is a gap between the images that you want to achieve and the current situation. And how to climb up ladders, usually you have to go up one by one like this. No, it's not so easy. In the case of Fujifilm, they needed 20 years to transform their businesses. In that 20 years, they made a rough plan. In the initial 5 years, they do this. Next 5 years, they do this. Next 10 years, they do this. That is why they could climb up the stairs to the images, to their images. And usually to climb up the stairs, you have to think about transformation of the organization itself and also transformation of the technologies. Here, technology, not only the technologies for producing something, providing some services, that is also a kind of technology. You can think that way. So again, to provide something new products, new services, you need to obtain new technologies. To obtain new technologies, sometimes you have to find out yourself through the research and development. Sometimes you obtain from other sources. You pay for the patent or technologies and you get it from another company. That is one way. Anyway, you need to spend some kind of capital, invest, and set the system for the production of the products or providing the services, and set the daily operation. So again, for the technologies, gradually you need to go up. For the transformation of the organizations, usually you need to modify the structure itself. After you modify, you reallocate the resources, for example, human resources. Then after you reallocate, you need to set how to operate, how to control the operation, daily operation. So the management control is necessary. So usually for the transformation, again, you change the organization, restructure the organization, reallocate the resources, and set how to manage those new structures. Again, to climb up the ladder, to climb up the stairs, you have to think about two kinds of transformation. And also, when you want to change your business drastically, usually you need to change it in the initial period. Because if you change only in the small portion in your business, you cannot change the big things later. Usually, if you want to transform totally, you need to change drastically in the initial period. So sometimes if the transformation is big, you have to take a bold step for the changes in the initial period. Now you learn at LJI. Suppose you are the director of the LJI. Now you want to change the way to provide the MBA education to the students, to the people at LJI. How you can change? Maybe you totally change the curriculum, or you totally change the instructors, or totally change the way that you provide the courses. Then usually you have to show the people that we need to change the way that you provide the MBA courses this way. Then if you want to change the curriculum, you have to change it first. Change the curriculum, then look for the instructors who can teach the new curriculum. Then discuss with your staff how to provide, how to operate each courses with the new curriculum. That is the way that you have to think about. So again, changing the curriculum means changing the big things for LJI. So in that case, LJI need to take a bold step first, then later modify slightly. That is often happens. And that is how we are going to achieve these images of basic concept. In fact, the LJI changed the way to provide the MBA courses several years ago. And you are enjoying the new ways for the new MBA courses. Okay. And here I show these photos. This is a product by Sony. And Sony, before they produced and provided this kind of big videotape, but they had images. They want to provide the customers the smaller devices to record the video. And first, they made a bold step from this big